guys, welcome to my channel. If you're new, welcome back to my channel. If you're old, my name is Nicole Hills, and in this video, oh my gosh, I'm so happy. I decided I wanted to do a series on my last YouTube video that I did on basically like breaking down essentials of what you need in order to start a new routine, a new project, and overall just something new in general. So this video is going to be about setting an intention and getting into, more of the nitty-gritty details that go into a new approach of just starting new things, in general, whether it be new projects, a new hobby that you want to embark on, or a new routine that you want to incorporate into your life. So before we get into that, just let me introduce myself. My name is Nicole Hills. I am a girl, with something to say. I am a content creator. I talk about healing, specifically inner child healing, but also I talk about other topics that have to do with wellness and just, helping people to live better lives. That's how I can sum that up. I do have a podcast where I talk more about spirituality and healing and inner child healing specifically. And so if you are interested in that, after you watch this video, after you watch it through, the full time, be sure to click the link in my bio in order to be directed to my podcast under your preferred podcast medium, whether that be Spotify, Apple Music, whatever. I'm on all of them, honey. You can't miss me. All of my social media is also in my bio where you can, catch the rest of my content that I provide about healing, about spirituality, about inner child healing, and just everything under that umbrella. So if you want to go check that out and get some additional healing, please feel free to at the end of this video. Even, now, pause the video, give me a follow, give me a like, a comment, because I know you're going to enjoy your stay. I also am on Patreon where you can support me in general as a creator. For $4.44 a month, you can subscribe and also get some additional healing because I do have articles on there. I have journal prompts on there. I have additional content on there that you can get access to when you subscribe. Also, if you feel so inclined to send me a one-time donation or, a multi-time donation, I'm not limiting you to nothing, honey. My Cash App and Venmo are both NICCC1. So definitely go over there and hit your girl with something nice as a thank you for, this free content. So don't be afraid to, break me off with a little bit of something. And I thank you so much in advance. So today, in talking about starting a new routine, we are going to get into setting an intention. So what does it mean to set an intention? Setting an intention allows you to first connect with your original idea and just desire and want, to do something. Why do you want to do it? What is your reasoning for it? And then also, the other half of it is setting a tone over this idea so that you can ultimately be set in alignment with it, and allow that alignment, that idea to be your motivation. Allow it to get you excited and feeling joy, for embarking on this new thing that you want to do, getting you grounded in your pure desire and excitement for doing it. And that is really important because obviously, we need a new approach when it comes to doing something new. You would not be here if you already knew how to, and if your method already was, tried and true. And so when it comes to starting new things in a new way, and incorporating a new way, we have to go and look at the old approach and see why it was not working for us. And for a lot of us, it's because of fear, rather than beginning our journey with using joy as a motivator, excitement as a motivator, being grounded in our idea, in a dream, an intention of why we want to do something, and letting that bring you in alignment, to your true desire, and allowing yourself to be inspired and to dream, and state what you hope to happen, what you wish to happen. Like we did when we were children and we just started projects and whole books and novels just off the strength that we wanted to do it. In the old approach, we would start off our journey in fear, grounded in fear, grounded in a past in which we quit, you know. And I don't say quit in a judgmental tone. I'm saying it in an objective way, but also with an acknowledgement of how our society causes us to view quitting, you know, and tells us how to feel about quitting, you know, what quitting means to us and about us as people as it pertains to our worth. And so in the past, we started off with fear about quitting and about failing, which has, you know, the same connotations as quitting, and about what that meant about us as a person. And then fear about how we will finish this new thing that we're trying to start. And so that made our journey very narrow, you know, and it made us really just focus on an end and who we wanted to be, how we wanted to achieve that goal, and all that we wanted it to look like, as well as what we were told by other people of how it should look like. And that created such an immense pressure on us, you know, a pressure to get it right, a pressure to get it done, you know, using that just get it done as a motivator, disconnecting us from our excitement. You know, who said the journey has to be all dull? Who said it can't be fun? Who said we can't have fun in everything we do and in any journey that we embark on? Life tells us that when we shift our focus, or when we are, you know, learned, you know, taught to shift our focus from our desires as well as the joy of our desires, and rather focus on this cookie cutter model of what society wants for us and validates as being right. And it causes us to go through our journeys in a very disconnected way. That's what makes the journey so narrow, because we are fearful of getting outside of the bounds. And it overall does not allow us to dream, you know, the space to dream. It doesn't allow for the journey to be more open. It doesn't allow for a more open-ended mindset and way to get to the end goal in our minds, because all we're thinking of is a finish line. And so not only does setting an intention allow for a certain awareness of what we actually want, you know, because a lot of us, you know, not that we forget to focus on that, but we're not really taught to focus on that. We're taught to deprioritize that and prioritize something else, someone else, and their ideas, you know? So not only does setting an intention allow us to prioritize our wants and our desires and make us aware of them, and then allow us to tweak them as we need, you know, it allows us to open up the space on the journey to actually allow it to happen and not go through it so narrow to where we feel like we need to control every little thing, and not go through the journey for the sake of just getting to the finish line, but go through the journey for the sake of the journey, you know? Because ultimately you'll learn the product don't really matter. Like, yeah, it matters, because like why else would we go through the journey? But it's the journey that gives you the wisdom, you know, that you need to get there. And if you're not aware to catch that wisdom, then really what are you all doing it for? So one way that setting an intention, or if you know, want to use another word, please feel free to, setting a dream, setting a hope, setting an aspiration, a desire, a wish. One way or another way that it can help us internally is by like word hacking the mind. So, personal little ditty about myself. I despise the word goal. I hate it. I don't like using it. Honestly, like I unpack my, you know, trauma around it, but I still don't really care for it. I like to use different words like intention, like dreams, like wishes and desires, because they keep me optimistic and they keep my mind open. And that's ultimately why I wanted to do this video, because I was like, yo, this is helping me so much. I know it could help somebody else. But the word goal for me has so much baggage to it. You know, it reminded me of when I was in school and I didn't really know what I wanted to do. And I didn't really know what I was good at like my peers did. You know, I didn't really have much belief in myself. And so when people in like middle school would try and ask me literally what I wanted to do for the literal rest of my life, I would get scared. You know, I would feel all this pressure to know, pressure to have that answer ready, or else I would feel their judgment. But then going on, you know, later in life, as I tried to use this word goal as well as like what's also associated with it, like societal conditioning and like how we measure productivity and how we create work ethic. And so that caused me to begin my journey in fear. You know, it caused me to have a narrow journey in which I use fear to get me to that finish line. If I even got to the finish line, child, because let's get into that. And so going through it like that so many times, it caused me to not believe in myself, you know? So that is my old approach. And in reviewing your old approach, we gotta get into how we felt about quitting in the past, you know? How we felt about failing, and how we even felt that we failed, and how we have made promises to ourselves that we were not able to keep, and how that affected us, and how that affected ultimately our belief in our power, our belief in our will, and our belief in our drive, you know? And so because we may be disconnected from that part of ourselves, because we may not believe in that part of ourselves, rather than saying phrases that speak to that drive, you know, speak to that power that we are iffy on, we can use word hacking and wordplay ultimately to hack our mind. Rather than saying things like, I am going to, I will, rather than making statements of declaration that will ultimately lead us to like rumination and like and doubt and wondering, oh, but will I? Because in the past I made this promise and I didn't do it, and then I failed and I quit, and then rather than going down that route, you can rather opt for statements that actually suit you, which can be statements of encouragement, you know? Because in reviewing my past, I noticed I didn't need to know if I would. You know, I didn't need to know if I will. I didn't need to know if I was going to do, you know, because it always turned into an if. And it always turned into doubt. What I really needed was to know if I could. You know, what I really need to know was if I can. And so I changed around the words rather than I am going to do, and then allowing that to keep me in bed in the morning, you know, because of the rumination. I allowed myself to say that I can do this, rather than I will do this, and then turning that into a question, just telling myself, yeah, I can do it, and then just letting myself do it, you know, just allowing it to happen. A lot of the journey in your new approach will be showing up to yourself, for yourself, and then just allowing yourself to go without that little micromanager in your mind trying to control everything out of fear, out of a base of fear. It's time to remove that base and create a new one. Build it from the brick up of motivation, of intention setting, of connecting with your dreams and your hopes and desires for a change, and just allowing space for all of that. Hey guys, so that is the end of part 1. Be sure to stay tuned for next week for part 2, because if I do say so myself, it gets juicy and you're really gonna wanna get into it. So thank y'all so much for watching. I appreciate y'all, and see you next week. Bye.